Hello, welcome to Cow Daily. The Queen gave me this hat to mark her Jubilee, and this is her favourite right now. So good. Welcome. How are you doing?
Not great after that.
I told you I was going to surprise you. What do you make of this?
Yeah, you did. Well, I think that kind of sums up how I'm feeling entirely. Anyway, just a shell of my former self while stuck on a fascist sinkhole.
Wow, a fascist sinkhole.
Yeah.
Yes, I am inclined to agree.
That was bloody awful.
What's that? Oh, that song. How dare you? Didn't you see the Orangeman? Sweeker. It had all the basic flag shag and food groups, that man. Like Union Jack, everything, and Orangeman.
Yeah. I think all we needed was some, like, I don't know, the little former figurine off the Robertsons jam jar to come dancing through the aisles. Like, it was just like,
You went there.
Go for the full set, why don't we?
You took it there.
I did.
Anyway, welcome back, you fucker. Like, I missed you last week.
I know, I bailed on you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you fucking bastard. No, it was all right. Actually, it was. I didn't miss you. It did.
No, you did. Honestly, it was mint. Just me spinning too many plates and dropping them all.
Defo
is the crap with that. So how are you?
I'm really fucking happy, to be honest, because I mean, you know yourself, I've been on this weight loss mission for bloody ages, haven't I? Well, bloody ages, a couple of months, and latest goal was to get below 14 stone, and I did that today. I'm like 13 stone something. And the last time I was way before my operation when I was training, and obviously I was less than that, like when I was like competing and shit. And I cannot believe I've seen that on a scale this morning. Especially when I kind of train properly, because obviously injuries and shit. So it's just amazing. And I've never done the full-on no exercise, self-discipline on the diet and the fasting before, and it's hard as hell, but it's working, and I'm seeing the results. So I've only got to my big goal, which is 185 pounds. I've only got like 9 pounds to go, which is unbelievable. Cannot believe it. Like single figures to go. And then I may start to look like myself once again. The gorgeousness.
Are you feeling better for it as well?
Oh God, honestly, like on every level. I'm pretty sure I was pre-diabetic or something. You know what I mean?
Oh right, okay.
Like I mean, I was up to 221 pounds, which is just under about 16 stone. Okay. I mean, I'm 6 foot, so it was kind of spread a bit, but I was big, it was the unhealthiness of it all, you know. I just didn't feel healthy. Now, if there's somebody else does whatever size they are, good, you do you. I'm all the support of it, but I personally do not. I honestly, like stomach issues, like couldn't sleep, you name it, horrible.
I think that's it's how you feel in yourself, isn't it, really? And you kind of know, because I mean, even though, I haven't seen you that much, obviously, since the pandemic start. We haven't been physically in each other's company, but I never, Chris, never at any point when I have ever thought, bloody hell, he's piled it on or anything like that. And let's face it, most of us did at some point during the craziness, but so it's not like it was ever anything that I kind of picked up on. I doubt anybody else did, but I think, I know when it's me, it's about how you kind of feel in your own body and, how you feel in yourself and stuff. And there's always things that you notice that's kind of individual to you. With me, I always know if my asthma is a little bit more shit, I think, maybe do I need to start like exercising a bit more and maybe drop
a minute. Scrappy, get away from there. Sorry, Scrappy there's a big drop there, right? And I'm not having it. Hold on, we'll bring him in. Come here, son.
Oh, I can see him skipping along. Look at him, man.
Here he is.
Look at his little face. Hi, Scrappy.
Hiya, son.
Oh, I want to give him a big smoosh. I haven't seen him
You
in
don't
ages.
have any ticks on your head. He's a lovely lad. Look at him. Look at him. No teeth, tongue hanging out, 2 working legs, but he's just a bag of love. I absolutely love him.
He really is. He's like,
Uh,
he's such a
DJ,
snuggly
come on.
dog whenever I see him.
Come on. Come here, DJ. This is the other one. Come here. I'll go this way.
Show me the babies.
Here he is. Wee. Shut up. There's the big one downstairs. This is DJ, everybody. He's got cancer. He's got like a lump there and a lump on his leg, but we've been treating him with special medicine, and he's basically lived for another 2 years. What's the matter, son? What's the matter? You okay?
Oh, you're absolutely smashing life, aren't you, DJ? Little belter.
Get on your bed. Right, that's it, boys. On the bed now. Right, there you go. There's the boys, everybody. How wonderful. The big one's downstairs, and I'm not calling him up here because he'll just be like, wow. He's a border collie, you know what they look like. So there you go. And there's the dogs. Speaking of animals, though, right? I've wanted to talk to you about this thing about you, which we've never really talked about on here before. And it's about how you are like the Dr. Doolittle of crows. But before we do that, I'm going to play everybody this video.
There isn't any. I forgot them. I'll bring them next time.
Where's me bait?
I know.
Where's
I
me
feel
bait?
terrible. Will you forgive me? Oh, mate. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Can we be friends? Oh.
Right. Holla at your boy. That was mental. What goes on there? Tell me about your love of crows.
Well,
I'm going to strap in here.
Well, that is Meatball. That's it. And actually, I don't know if Meatball's a boy or a girl. Actually, like because some of them I can kind of figure it out, but Meatball's one of 2 where I'm not really sure. That video was taken yesterday. I went down to the beach and it was quite late. And I'd forgotten to pick up some monkey nuts. That's what he wanted. That's what I normally like throw to them when I'm down there. And I hadn't bought any, but I thought I'd get away with it because I was thinking, it's like 8 o'clock. They'll have all roosted by now, like often they have at that time. But no, it seems like Meatball was still out on the rave on the beach and was absolutely livid that I didn't have anything for him. And now I feel terrible. So yeah, that's my mission tomorrow, to pick up more monkey nuts and go.
So that's what happened last night. I'm just going to cut in. How did you become like the mistress of all crows everywhere? Because seriously, like wherever I have seen you, crows just arrive. What's the story?
Oh no, it started off with two who I named Persephone and Hades, and I used to see them at the bus stop when I used to go to work. Right?
If you had a camper van, you'd definitely call it Rory or something.
Actually, most of the crows are named after famous anarchists in some way. Actually, but
Kropotkin. Let's go around Spain.
Oh yeah, well, come on, you can't have a crow and not call it Kropotkin. Like, come on. And
that is a fair comment. That, like, I mean, you'd be really caught slipping if you did go down that road.
There's also Eric Crow Malatesta as well.
Right, it's a bit much. That, like, you're really reaching here, like.
Yeah, so it started off with 2, and I shared some of my baby bells stuff, which I'm not really sure they're kind of really meant to eat cheese, but they were looking quite cute. They were kind of jumping around my feet, and then it kind of went from there. And then I used to work next to a graveyard.
Did you walk up with your baby bells and go, "Me and my cheese are really digging your vibe," and then all these fucking crows appeared and started exchanging car keys?
Well, I used to work next door to a graveyard, and it was like an old one where there was like, like a really, really old one. There wasn't anybody that has been buried there for decades. So as a result, it's really, really quiet. So if it was nice just to get a bit of fresh air, kind of the little goth in me would like to go for a walk around the graveyard, and there was crows there as well. So I used to take them stuff. And I used to feed them, and like, I mean, I did know that they are clever and that they can recognize faces and stuff and things like that. I didn't realize quite how good they are at this. I have dyed my hair lots of different colors in the 3 years sort of since then. It doesn't phase them all. Doesn't matter what color my hair is. It doesn't matter what style it is. When the pandemic hit, it didn't matter whether I was wearing a mask. They knew exactly who I was. You can't hide from them at all.
So do you think it's through smell or something else?
I honestly don't know.
Dogs, their smell, aren't they? So
Yeah. I honestly don't know. I don't know if it's gait as well, or if it's like I don't always have the same coat and the same bag on, but I sometimes wonder if it's that as well, like something that I'm carrying, that they if they recognize that as well. But yeah, like sometimes I'd go in the graveyard, and like the only people you used to ever see there was like dog walkers and things who would walk around. And I remember going in once, and there was this guy. He was like, honestly, he was walking this dog that was even smaller than Scrappy and DJ. And normally, as soon as like I came in, the crows would like come and they'd like fly around. Particularly one called Poe, who was quite brave.
As in Edgar Allan.
Yes, as in Edgar Allan.
Not Teletubbies.
No. So he didn't show up like straight away. So I just I kind of did a scan around for him, was kind of like looking about, and this bloke with this tiny little dog, he came up and he was like, Pet, have you lost your dog? And I was like, oh no, it's all right, I'm just looking for me crow. And Crow kind of swooped in the middle of us and like landed on this gravestone. The dog shit itself and started like trying to scramble away, and like I'm trying to explain to this guy. It was just like, yeah. The one that we were talking about before, Kropotkin, that was when I worked in that office building. He figured out where I sat, because I used to sit near a window.
Oh, fuck off. This is getting like, it was already like ridiculous. But this is like silly.
And so him and his mate used to sit on the lamppost like opposite and just yell. Like occasionally I'd just like slice something out of the window. But like if you're in like a big multi-agency meeting full of like loads of different like really like important people and stuff, and I'm like there like desperately trying to pretend that there isn't a crow, like like having a go at me as well. This was the same building that spent thousands and thousands of pounds trying to stop crows and seagulls from nesting on the roof. They did so by buying these speakers which played hawk noises through it.
You can see Hawkwind there. I wouldn't have minded a bit of that.
To be fair, that might have deterred them a bit better than the hawk noises. They didn't give a single shit. All it did was just drive the staff crazy all day.
Crow gang.
Yeah, we listened to hawk noises all day. So so that's basically the long and short of it. Is it started with 2.
Why you though? Why that's what I want to know. Why are they following you? What spells and gothic incantations have you got?
Some of them it's as simple as that. I feed them, and like I give them food. But honestly, it's and you've been there when this has happened, where they've been in an area where I don't know any. Like there's none that would recognize me, and I still.
This is the thing. So you know about Rupert? Do you know about Rupert Sheldrake's theory of the morphogenetic field?
No.
Right. Well, Sheldrake talks about like sort of the interconnectedness of animals, and one of the descriptions he uses, murmuration, which for people who don't know is when at dusk you have a load of birds come together and they fly around, and it's like mad trippy, and it looks a bit like when I was watching an episode of He-Man with the telly turned off when I was like on a 3-day speed binge when I was 19. Seriously. I don't recommend that to anybody, but I literally watched the whole thing, and it was granular and black and white. Well, it was a bit like a murmuration in the telly, but like Battle Cat and Cringer and Orko and that. But anyway, like Sheldrake, this is the most round the doors explanation of the morphogenetic field you're ever going to get. So anyway, what he talks about is like, how do they do this murmuration, right? Like, how does that happen? Like, are they interconnected by some kind of like psychic strand, which makes them move at the same time, split seconds, things of that nature? Are you getting where I'm coming from? Another example Sheldrake uses is, when a dog seems to know that you're coming home like a couple of minutes before you do.
Yeah, they've done loads of experiments with that, haven't they?
Yeah, because the dog, I think what he's saying is the dogs will imprint on you like the mother or the father thing, but there's like because they're not as tied up in thought like we are, like humans, they've still got like access to this. I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but one thing I do know is my dogs absolutely wait at the door when I've been at the shop or whatever. It's forget all this, like, when like an American service person comes back and the dog's all like, wow. And I watch them videos and I'm like, that's literally when I go and buy a pint of milk. Like, I'll come back and it's the same shit. So then they'll know I'm coming back as well. Like this lot will go mental, Scrappy's tongue's flying all over. He's like this,
Well, I told you last week, because I lose, for anybody who doesn't know me in real life, I lose everything all of the time. And I dropped my phone on the beach about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And they helped me find my phone by causing a fuss around it.
You're part of Crow Gang, that's why. But what my point is, like, how do other groups of crows know? Have they got like this wider morphogenetic field where it's like, she's cool, she gives food, she loves the crows, she's crow mother? Is that what's
they
going
can
on?
pass on information, like I mean, I don't know how it would work in other areas, but certainly, they can pass on information, like basically tell other crows about you, like they can tell they're young. There was a thing in I think it was in America. I think there was I can't remember why they were doing it, but they were having to tag crows, so kind of catch them, put a ring around them,
on like Facebook and that,
and everything like that.
Instagram.
Yeah. So basically,
COVID book.
They were putting crows on their
Reaching.
necks. And obviously, as you can imagine, crows don't really like being captured and held and having something put on them. So the person who did it had this like mask thing on while they were doing it. So they did that. And they put all the rings on the crow's feet that they needed to do. And I think like they went back like years later, like that. There's a whole thing you can read about this thing. There's been loads written about it. And they had someone put on the same mask, and they were basically getting chinned by crows, who basically who would never have been around at the time that the tagging was done. But they seemed to know exactly who this was, almost as if it had been, like passed down like some kind of like ancient folk tale, of the kind of weirdo human who's going to grab hold of you and stick a plastic ring on your leg. It was another one in, I think it was Washington, either Washington or Seattle, where a similar thing happened with them at a police station. And it was during like nesting season, and one of the cops tried to like shoo them away because they were like nesting around the thing, and they took upset at that, and to make matters worse, one of the coppers blared the horn at them when he was in the cruiser, and so they all started swooping the car and shooting all over it. And then it was just like, it happened that whenever like these crows were seeing anybody in like a police uniform or a police car, they were basically like having a go, like proper ACAB
pro
crows.
cab.
Yeah, proper ACAB crows. Yeah,
gotta be crow cab, man.
Yeah, so they're clever creatures, are corvids, and like magpie. If you ever come across magpies or jays or jackdaws, anybody who's kind of spent any time with them will tell you the same. But they're really good at recognition and kind of figuring out who people are as well.
That's cool, man. Sorry, I was listening, but the comments section took a massive shit, and I've managed to get it all back now, so it's good. Speaking of that, let's take some comments before we start going in on the Queen. I mean, talk about the Jubilee and its fantastic opportunities for Britain, much like Brexit. In a
lovely, unbiased way.
Joanne, you're looking fit, Mr. Koo. Well, not quite yet. I'm not quite at me peak performance level, but I'm getting there. So thanks for being nice. Thank you. Right, let's scroll through what we got. What we got in the things. What you saying? Crows eat carrion and pretty much everything else. They know not to scran poisoned food. Interesting.
They do, and I think that's why they were kind of often associated with death, and that kind of come from, the battlefields and stuff. Obviously where there was, but it's at the end of the day, it's we're the ones who put graveyards and battlefields, in their habitat, and then kind of complain that it's them that are the symbol of death. Really, it's never made much sense to me. But yeah, I think that's where, because they are, they do eat carrion a lot, and I've seen some disgusting things in my time, believe me, that crows will do. But yeah, that's just what they are.
Check this out.
They get a bad rap for it.
Indeed. Robert is saying they're credible, intelligent birds. I feed them each morning. If I'm late, they're really vocal about it. Mad. Isn't it mental? Slaz is in the house. Dave Slaz. I still think his thumbnail is like when the burn an effigy of a child in Bohemian Grove under the Owl of Moloch. Properly looks like that. Sorry, I keep going off on one periodically about that, Slaz, when you pop up, but what can you do? So Slaz is saying, my dad found an injured crow chick when I was a young'un. We hand-reared it, put it imprinted on us, tried to release it several times, but no joy. He used to ride on the back of our Doberman. No way. That is brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, bless. I know. And people often, because people, it's word gets around, and I'm kind of known as the mad crow lady and stuff. And people kind of ask if I've, got them sitting on me, kind of eating, like physically eating out of my hand, or like asking me how you can tame them. And it kind of pisses me off. I mean, I don't know why you would want to do that. I know sometimes with, like, if you're, hand rearing and stuff like that, imprinting can be something that happens, and it's just one of those things. But some people want to do it deliberately, and I just think, why would you want, why don't you let it teach you to be a little bit more wild? Why would you want to tame it? That's a ridiculous thing to do. They're so good just as Indeed. They are. Like, just leave them be. And yeah, I mean, it's been 3 years. I could have absolutely had them sitting on me, and part of me, believe me, would really, really love that. But I'm not going to do it, and I've never attempted to do it.
Fair comment. Speaking of comments, do you see how I do these things? Jessica Smith, reading Merlin Sheldrake's Entangled Life at the Mo about fungi. Nice one. Nice to see you here as well, Jessica.
I have a copy of that book on my bookshelf.
All right, cool.
I haven't even started it yet. I keep meaning to, but I've got like an entire shelf to read at the moment.
Yeah. So
anyway, really good. Yeah.
So shall we do some Jubilee business?
Yeah, go on then. Unless you're going to show me that video again.
Well, I can if you want, but I've got plenty more where that comes from. Don't you worry about that. StreamYard's having a mare the night. Like, I keep threatening to do some business with it, but and get in touch with StreamYard, but I never do. But I think I might have to. Anyway, the Jubilee. So, oh shit, that's the wrong thing. Sorry, I had to re-upload those. It's the wrong slide. So, what do you make of this? So, for audio listeners, Stonehenge's official account here, as I think this is Instagram. Yes, put an Instagram post out with the projected various images of the Queen over the years on the stones of what is a pagan site. And given she's the de facto head of the Church of England, that's really disrespectful. I mean, you wouldn't project the image of like the Ayatollah on Westminster Abbey, would you? I mean, sorry, I'm being disingenuous. What is this cringe shit? Alice, tell us what it is.
Well, it says they've projected 8 portraits of Queen Elizabeth II onto Stonehenge in celebration of the Platinum Jubilee. Each picture is from a different decade of the Queen's reign, illuminating the ancient monument's iconic facade in a spectacular display. Now, I know she's 96, but even from an anarchist perspective, describing her as an ancient monument seems a little bit harsh. I couldn't stop laughing at this. I know, obviously, that isn't what they're not referring to the Queen when they say ancient monument, but that's how my brain read it, and I'm sure like thousands of other people's brains read it like that.
Arguably is.
It's just like, it was one of those things where I saw it, and eventually, after I stopped laughing, which was quite some time, I then had to log onto Instagram and look for the Stonehenge page just to check that it was actually real, because it was one of those, this has to be satire. This is one of the most ludicrous things I've ever seen. I mean, honestly, the UK is just absolutely ridiculous. And like, I know
Right,
whenever
I'm going to stop you there. England.
yeah, no, actually, you're right. That's a fair point.
Let's
England
call it what it is.
is.
This is England.
I do not include Scotland or Wales or Ireland in this at all. It's
I mean,
yeah,
there's some within those countries that are. I mean, like
well, of
arguably
course.
Scotland's like Rangers fan sort of flag shagging contingent is arguably just below Northern Ireland's flag shagging contingent, and then England. But it kind of all melds
Yeah.
together,
No.
as we will
It's
find
England.
out.
It's ridiculous. And you know what? Like, kind of, and you know, not without reason, but whenever you see like kind of images of like North Korea and the marching and the the crying when the
We've got
leader
some of
died
them.
and stuff and things like that, and people kind of saying, "Oh my God, they're brainwashed, they're ridiculous," and everything like that. I'm like, have you seen us? Did you see people crying over Big Ben when they stopped it for a little while just so they could fix it? Like literally grown adults crying over Big Ben in the middle of the street. And this is another one of those things. I mean, look at that. Look at the literal state of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. What I've done is I've put together some of the worst of the worst, right, as well as some like stuff that really should be getting reported, and just maybe it's had one article in the Guardian, and then it was just the Queen say no, say nothing, say less. So I pulled this up from Sky News, and it says breaking: Queen pictured at Aberdeen Airport as she returns to London ahead of Platinum Jubilee celebrations. That's a hologram. Either that or she's halfway between shape shifting between a different forms. Look at the plight of it though. And why is this breaking news? Queen cited because I mean, look, I don't know whether she's dead or not. I don't know whether this Operation London Bridge thing is a thing. But I know hologram when I say it. Just messing. I don't. Anyway, moving on. Jubilee weekend party pack. My favorite thing is the Captain Tom Memorial Bong, which you see at the top right there.
That's the first thing my eyes went to.
Have you seen that thing, man? It's like
amazing.
Does the disrespect not scan in China where it was made? Like you can buy them on Amazon. Well, if they're still available, they were actually available, I think.
Oh,
unless
really?
somebody's
That's
blagged us up.
amazing.
Like some of the other things, though, I can't read because guidelines. So anyway, who is this handsome devil who has tweeted this thing or whatever I did it on? So anyway, it's Jubilee week. Buckingham Palace banned ethnic minorities from office roles, papers reveal. Exclusive documents also shed light on Queen's ongoing exemption from race and sex discrimination laws, source The Guardian. And I've commented, are you really celebrating a person who does this? Why the fuck? And we'll come out of this for a minute. Why the fuck are people celebrating that? Like, what's all this? Sweet Caroline. What's that about? Like, what's it for? Like,
but they bring in so much money from tourism. And
fuck that. That's been debunked so badly. And I'm not directing that. I know you know, but like, it's
well,
like.
My answer to that every time is the Palace of Versailles brings in like 10 million a year, 10 million visitors a year. And look what the French did to their royal family. That's all I'm saying.
That's
also,
not you advocating the guillotin for our wonderful Queen, is it? Like,
I never said such a thing.
No, you didn't. That's right. And we were careful not to say that, weren't we?
No. The Winter Palace in St. Petersburg, part of that's been turned into a cat sanctuary. Reuse, recycle, reduce. We're all concerned about the environment. That's all I'm saying.
Are. I am. You are. We all are.
I don't know. I've never been much of a monarchist. I know people who really, really do. Well, I was about to say I know people who really, really do love the royal family. I'm not sure that's entirely true. I think people are a lot more affectionate about the Queen than they are about the others, and I think it will be interesting to see what happens when she does pass. I think there was a poll, and it's like, to me, the numbers weren't nearly big enough for my liking, but I think it was in February this year when they were saying, should the monarchy be abolished? And it was just over 22% people said yes, it should be, which doesn't seem like a lot, and it isn't, but that's quite a sharp interest from 2018 when only 15% said that it should be abolished. And
Really?
again, yeah. And so this is all while the Queen is still alive. I think she is a lot more popular with people than the likes of, well, certainly Charles. I know they're kind of making noises about maybe trying to skip him and get William in, but I don't even think William's particularly popular with the general public. More than his
Not
dad.
really. Like, I mean,
more than his dad, but no, I think once she's gone, I think. Well, I don't know whether she'll be the last one. Maybe that's wishful thinking on my part, but
well, I'd hope so. I'd like to think so. It would be nice for her, wouldn't it? Nice and sentimental and that for anarchists and that. Oh, isn't she gone now? She's gone. Not only though, here's the thing though, right? She's not content with having these like racist policies within her household. She's into cultural appropriation as well. Look at this. She's totally and utterly stolen the Gaddafi aesthetic.
oh my God, where is this? This is amazing.
Somewhere within England. Have you heard of it? It's this magical place with unicorns and lions and chains around the people. But anyway, Gaddafi, right?
It looks like
Gaddafi's hedge head.
It looks like a cross between Gaddafi and Andre the Giant.
Look at what I imagine is called Wilf on the right there.
He's
pleased as punching. He's loving it. Like, oh, this is the Queen's real hedge hair.
Oh, that is it's so awful. I love it.
Gaddafi gang. Look at the state of that, man. Like, people are doing this wild shit like all across England. Look at this. Oh, sorry, how did that get in there? Somebody's done her up like Shrek. Oh, how did that get there? Right, so anyway, the Telegraph in more mawkish bullshit. I'm not giving you a chance to like rebound from that laugh. We're straight in, no messing. Just thought I'd hide it in there to cheer you up. The Telegraph. Do you want to see it again? It's just the Queen done up proper like Shrek and that, like. Yeah, she's again Shrek'd out. Shrek'd out, yo. Look at her.
Yeah, can it cope?
Look at her. It's like Shrek and Big Bird wanked in a petri dish and threw it up in old German. Sorry, anyway, carrying on. The Telegraph, as we approach the Jubilee and look back to the time of the coronation, we were slimmer and healthier back then. Here's why. The eating habits we need to bring back from the 1950s. Not content with talking down to people who can't like heat or eat. It's all like, let's weld the Jubilee in with the cost of living crisis, pull up those bootstraps and boil up some beef and carrots next to your ration book, next to a candle, not for romance sake, because you can't afford to put your lights on. And don't forget to be fucking grateful. Have you seen the plight of that, man?
I've seen so much of stuff like this and it absolutely boils my piss. I mean, you know, kind of people, when talking about, you know, people not being able to afford to, you know, feed their children or heat their homes, as you say, it's kind of saying, oh, well, back when I was a child, you know, we used to have like 13 like sleeping in the same bed and it's like, well, I and your sister died of hypothermia and you all had scabies. It's like this isn't something we should be romanticizing and kind of wanting to have back. It's like we're meant to have progressed from this kind of shit, and I feel like I have seen more of it, you know, and I do think the Jubilee is part of it. I think I saw, and I've never got it, I saw a lot of it around V-Day, like Victory Day, and you know, you had all the street parties there where everybody gave each other COVID. But it was all right because, you know, they put the hair in like
COVID street parties. Man.
Yeah,
I remember them.
You know, they put their hair in victory rolls and more nice dresses and stuff. And it was just like, oh yeah, isn't it lovely? Let's like, you know, pretend we're all back in the war again. You know, let me send you a letter on faded paper saying that all your bairns are dead. Like,
hey,
why
come here, Courtney. I'm gonna put like a line of Bovril up to mirror like tights so you can get rifled off a GI around the back of the air raid shelter, just like Nana. Anyway, moving on. My mission is to make you laugh and then move on, so you're just trapped. What's this? I found this a month ago. BBC News for the next month will be like, we stopped this random bystander and asked her views on the royal family. Every fucking time. Some granny made up like fucking with the Savile haircut and the what appears to be Jerry Halliwell's knickers. Have you seen the thing? But this is the thing. This is like perfectly normal. It's like this is a normal thing to do.
Yeah, they do that whenever one of them's getting married, or if they're bringing a kid home from the hospital as well. You have like kind of groupies like hanging around outside, and it's just
man.
I don't know. Maybe I've never got it. I've never got it, but it seems to be popular, doesn't it? Like,
well, is it though? Is it just what the cameras are being pointed at, which was like the point of sticking this meme in? Because they didn't really, they're not going to put people like us on the BBC and say, hey, what do you think? The floor's yours for the next 5 minutes. Because predictable results would happen. That's not going to happen. It's a very tightly controlled sort of system of messaging. And then they might have some like communications officer from Republic or whatever charity it is that like, is it Republic who won that? It is Republic. And they might have them on, and then they'll have like 3 royalists just giving them grief, and then on you move to the next thing, you know. There's only an acceptable range of opinion that's allowed, certainly on mainstream broadcasting about the royal family, certainly as well. Certainly in England. Have you certainly 3 times there? I'm certain of what I'm saying. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. James Felton, who always smashes it on Twitter. This is a front page from The Sun. And I hope I did you proud, Mummy. As Charles, this was from like not so long ago. Queen watches on TV as Charles makes speech. He's 73-year-old. 73. And the caption from James Felton is deeply normal front page about a 73-year-old man who managed to read aloud. What do you make of that?
With stuff like this, I always think like, imagine you had somebody who'd never lived in any kind of society or was like visiting from another planet, and you showed them that as a thing, and you saw like an elderly man talking to a bougie hat like next to him. It's like it's absolutely bizarre. Like pretty much all of our customs are really. Yes, I say the same thing about Westminster and Parliament and the stick and you know the stick. Like all the way, like even
Black Rod. Is that the one? Is it Black Rod?
Yeah.
Where it's like knock, 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 and everybody's like, whoa! Like, how are these briefcase wankers like running us? Like they all get like up a height about fuck all. Like all of this pageantry and bullshit.
And it was the book with the goat skin and everything like that. And it sounds like it was something out of fucking Macbeth or something like that. And that's where, a lot of these customs that we have are about as old as Macbeth as well, if not beforehand.
Listen, right? I've kept this one from you, right? This what I'm about to play, right? For you that I've kept from you, so you'll see this thing is the fucking high watermark end of level boss of flag shagging bullshit. It was filmed in something called the Air Raid Cafe, which is like all Spitfires and shit up on the wall, right? Honestly, I didn't even know this existed, but like is this flag shagger ground zero? Who knows? I'm going to find out more after the show. But I'm not going to tell you what this is. I just want you to just sit back, enjoy, and soak up. This is the 1945 with Thank You, Your Majesty.
Guys, it's the Queen's 70th birthday. What are we going to do?
It's not the Queen's 70th birthday. It's her Platinum Jubilee.
Well, it's her Platinum Jubilee. We need to think of something.
Oh, I've got an idea.
Oh, here we go.
Us on our way together. We know you'll leave someday together. Your hand in our hand together. You've helped us with our plans together.
Come on, everybody.
You made us
fly. No, you're not too cool to sing this one.
Together. You're the reason why.
Reason why. Come on. For the Queen.
It's all because of you. Your Majesty, on your Jubilee.
Thank you, Your Majesty. What you saying? I've got my Queen's hat out back on. It's lush.
Well, I mean, new Captain Tom just dropped. Like,
Hopefully not literally. I wouldn't wish ill or death on anybody.
wow. Who was it? Was that fucking Go West? That
No. It was the Pet Shop. I'm sure it was the Pet Shop Boys, but they did a song right called "Go West." So
Yeah,
it's like
that's what I said.
"Go West." Like
Yeah,
no,
that's
you
what I
said
said.
"Go West." We're a band, man. They did like me father
No,
used to love them. When I was a kid, I bought them 7-inch singles of like "Go West" things.
What the fuck are you talking about? I meant the song.
No, there's a band called Go West as well from the 80s.
Oh God! Right, I'm gonna have to. I've never heard of them. I'm gonna have to. No, I meant the song. Is that the Pet Shop Boys? Is what I meant. Like,
Sorry, I just got too caught up in me dad's 7-inch singles that I used to buy him for Christmas. You know.
and now I know. Yeah, now I know you're a Go West.
Get this
fan.
though, I've just remembered something. In the 80s, I would buy him. This is not a joke. When I was 8, I would buy him like a Go West single or whatever, but it would say like a leather pouch, and then I'd buy him like 50 grams of baccy. I'd probably go and buy it at the shop myself, like old Holborn and that.
Yeah, this is what 80s birthday presents were like, though. I don't think people realise that.
Seriously though, anyway, that song, right, the 1945, like, geez, man, Captain Tom. It's like it's the energy of Captain Tom, isn't it? It's like the people just want to like put themselves out there with all this like all that kind of bullshit, and it's just like the uber cringe, like just cringe glands off.
Yeah,
fully level 10 fucked up in the head with me cringe business.
yeah, and I've got a really well. I think I know that's why you saved it till last, because you know what a low cringe threshold I have,
and that's why I didn't show you, because I wanted that full impact. And what I'd like to say is I get like a little thumbnail of you in the bottom, don't I? And I was just watching this develop, and but there's no way of like splitting the screen that I've worked out yet. I would have just stuck you on there and just laughed in the background. But seriously, man, like, can you believe this whole absolute fuckery that is the Jubilee? We've got a few more Jubilee bits, and then I'm going to do a palate cleanser, right? Because we've shown just the hell that is this whole Jubilee thing. But I'm going to show you something belter at the end. But in the meantime, we've got some of these things, which I'll just put it up, right? Oh God, this is belter, this one. Queen secretly lobbied Scottish ministers for climate law exemption. Monarch used secretive procedure to become the only person in the country not bound by a green energy rule. That's in The Guardian from 6 months ago. What do you make of that? I mean, it's just exemption this. We don't want black people working in the office, that. Like, so they're happy to shit all over the planet and disrespect like anybody who isn't white.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just, you know, when you hear Charles going on about the environment and everything like that, and, you know, how we should all be doing more when, you know, they'll fly places in private jets and everything, it just makes an absolute mockery of it. I mean, I think the royal family own something like 15.5 thousand acres of land in the UK. That's I don't
15,500.
Yeah, acres of land. I don't even think that includes abroad. I'm pretty sure.
I just don't know what 15.5 thousand is. I was a bit confused.
Oh yeah, 15.5 thousand acres of land.
Searing news analysis from live and direct from Alice Wolf.
Yeah.
From the Priti Patel School of Arithmetic. Shouts to Diane Abbott every time. We know who the true mathematician is. Anyway, moving on. This from the Mail Online. Now you can pay tribute to the Queen on her Platinum Jubilee. Britain and the world is uniting to celebrate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee as the monarch marks an astonishing 70 years on the throne. Here you can leave your own personal tribute to Her Majesty and share your thoughts on her incredible reign. Just leave your name and personal message in the boxes below. Right, listen, and this is really fucking important. Nobody whatsoever go to the Daily Mail website and leave your thoughts about the Queen, right? Don't do it, because I know what you're like.
It's like they learned nothing from Boaty McBoatface, is it? It's just asking for absolute devilment and mischief.
I love it, me.
Yeah.
Please. There's two things I want to leave you with, right? So if you'll just give us the next couple of minutes. The first one is this, and it's from the Irish Times. Excuse me, I had a little bit of phlegm in my throat. So anyway, the Irish Times, wonderbar. Having a monarchy next door is a little like having a neighbour who's really into clowns and has daubed their house with clown murals, displays clown dolls in each window, and has an insatiable desire to hear about and discuss clown-related news stories. More specifically, for the Irish, it's like having a neighbour who's really into clowns and also your grandfather was murdered by a clown. Beyond this, it's the stuff of children's stories. Having a queen as head of state is like having a pirate or a mermaid or Ewok as head of state. What's the logic? Bees have queens, but the queen bee lays all of the eggs in the hive. The Queen of the Britons has laid just 4 British eggs, and one of those is the sweatless creep Prince Andrew. So it's hardly deserving of applause. The contemporary royals have no real power. They serve entirely to enshrine classism in the British non-constitution. They live in high luxury and low autonomy, cosplaying as their ancestors, and are the subject of constant psychosocial projection from people mourning the loss of empire. They're basically a Rorschach test that the tabloids hold up in order to gauge what level of hysterical batshittery their readers are capable of at any moment in time. Gang.
Do you know what? If I wrote that, I would never write anything again. I just go,
Beautiful,
that's it. I've peaked. I'm never gonna get anything better than this.
We can only aspire to be such writers.
Yeah, amazing.
Just brilliant, fantastic. So what I want to say is, like, I mean, quite often when we talk about the royals, like, older people like get it, right? They're like, oh God, I wish older people just die off and it'll solve the problem, because nobody really likes the Queen who are young and all of this kind of thing. And I think that's bad when you consider things like, and people like Scouse Gran exist.
I'm so pleased to know that you are celebrating your 100th birthday on the 15th of January 2021. I send my congratulations and best wishes to you on such a special occasion. Yeah. Elizabeth.
She couldn't give one shite.
Well, she did sign it, didn't she?
That was good of her.
Yes, Scouse Gran, man.
Amazing. I love her so much. Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, that's just like a love-in with like the people of Liverpool and Scousers at the minute, but like they just provide so much like anti-establishment balance. Boo the thing. Like burn that card. I bet she went off and ripped it up with her last remaining strength. Shouts to Scouse Gran. And leave the boomers alone as well, because she's this is actually I'm not going to, because like the whole boomers thing is a different topic, and I want to do like an in defense of boomers piece in the future. So
yeah, I think we
know what I'm saying. Before we move on to the miscellaneous stuff, I shall pull up some comments and see what these ne'er-do-wells have to say. What do they have to say? Right, so Jessica is saying, Go West had a song called King of Wishful Thinking, #Charles. Nice. Holly says, nice try, FBI. Indeed, they've been trying a while. Right, hold on a minute. Right, Paula is saying, what the actual fuck?
That kind of sums it up for me.
Peter Riddell says, beautiful, just beautiful. Thanks, Peter. I know I'm looking good. I've lost a gang of weight. Love you, brother. Last one as well. Dan, your dad drinks in the air raid pub. Class. That is class, man. Right, there's another one from Paula here. If I had a medal for every time someone called my brother a pedo, really sorry about that. Nobody else is a pedo that we're aware of. Allegedly, though, because civil court cases happened, and now I'm like moving swiftly on, because bad things happen. We don't want to end up wrapping my car like in what can only be described as an accident in any kind of tunnel anywhere. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Is the Tower of London still functioning?
No, they'll have to drag us there by me hair. See. Anyway, thanks, Queen. Thank you, Your Majesty. Get the heart hands up for Madge, everybody. Cringe it up. Cringe your life away. So anyway, in what may be a semi-regular item, quick fire. This one's called, you'll find out. So Peter Bone MP said, just stopped by a constituent on the embankment in Wellingborough. He was Labour, but joined the Conservatives because of Boris. He said, Boris got us through Brexit and COVID. Leave him alone and let him get on with the job. I reckon that gentleman speaks for most of my constituents. And here's the meme. I don't suppose you have a copy of Shit That Never Happened. You do. That's wonderful. Remember that guy from the Yellow Pages back in the day? J.R. Hartley.
Oh, absolutely.
Peter Bone's full of shit, man. Like, seriously, have you seen the plight of that? It's just like, right, like get one of them spads to draft something because we're doing this whole like sort of gaslighting thing about Johnson being a shitbag. I also heard another MP today like have the temerity on I think it was like 5 Live or something. He was like, look, when you elected him, you knew exactly what he was about. You knew he was a rambunctious character and all of this carry on. And I'm just like, Jesus, they're really taking that line with us, you know?
No, they really, really are. I mean, like, how many people have fucking died of this thing? How many people are going to? How many people are in, financial ruin? We're still hearing more about a new different party every week. Some people have got a short fucking memory, but I remember when they were, writing do not resuscitate orders on autistic people and other people with like profound learning disabilities. That is just all being swept under the carpet. All of these people who've died, they just shit all over it and go, oh, isn't he doing a wonderful job? Isn't he getting us through it? No, he's not. Like, all of your bills are about like $3,000 higher. You've been fighting with nanas in the supermarket over a fucking wilted rocket. It's an absolute mess. It's an absolute mess. And we're still having that thing of like, oh, well, if you can't feed your kids, you shouldn't have had them. Like, ridiculous, just world hypothesis. Which we've talked
fully
about before.
is. It's just absolute madness, man. Like, they expect us to believe this shit, and you know what it is? Some people willingly gulp that shit in. Anyway, just a couple more little bits and bobs from around the world. This is from @CoastKerry on Twitter. It's an excerpt from a newspaper which says, Ewan Blair leaps up family property ladder with 22 million mansion, and the caption reads, absolute mystery why Tony Blair fought so hard against socialism.
Yeah, isn't it?
22 million. I mean, like, he's just he's set up some kind of like training business or something. He's done very, very well, and he's got some really big contracts, and which was amazing considering it was just a startup. Shit. Fuck. Man. Shit. Hamstring.
Oh, mate. Fucking hell.
Hold on a minute. Just talk. Hold on.
No. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right. Okay. Mike's just hobbled off. Hi, everyone. So, Ewan Blair. Yes.
Oh my God.
22 million pound mansion. Yeah. As Mike said.
I'm back. Sorry, I was running earlier and then I've sat down and then hamstring kicked in.
Panic.
This is what happens when you do like training again when you're 45. You get like wild ass shit happening to you out of nowhere. That never used to happen when I was young and fit. Anyway, I think that was Tony Blair's fault. And moving on. Tony Blair snapped my hamstring.
I was going to say the fucking black magic like coming through the internet because you've been swagging off his pen.
That was painful shit. That like it's the royal laser gun, isn't it? It's like the harp ray for gobshite. Anyway,
what we'll have next week. It was what was it? The other week it was me like choking on water or tea or something. And then,
yeah.
Your hamstring.
Seriously, man, that was absolutely horrific. Like, but we're back anyway, and we've only got 5 minutes to go, so I'll just sit here with one leg raised, and we'll power through it. Anyway, and to make it which needs correcting, the front page of the Mail looks like the Mail on Sunday there. Cheers, Mom. 18 years after the EU ordered us to remove crown symbol from our pint glasses, Boris brings them back for the Jubilee. The caption reads, not true. The EU did not order the UK to remove the crown symbol from pint glasses. Now, when I carved that up, I couldn't actually get the guy in, and he's like some editor from Sky News. So I was like, shots fired. But this is absolutely something to raise, which is, it goes back to bendy bananas and all this kind of stuff. They're still doing it. They're still lying to people, like straight up lying to people about the EU. And I'm no massive fan of the EU. It's not a binary choice. I mean, the whole sort of stuff around Greece was disgraceful, in my view. I'm having a mare here. I pulled hamstring and I'm burping my face off. What a nightmare. But I just wanted to put this in just to, as a form of correction, because this shit's flying around left and right, and it's like it does feed into this sort of flag shagger, royalist, anti-EU sort of unholy trinity, and as you can see, the way they've laid it out, it's all like, cheers, Mom. On the right, for something else, it's Prince William dressed up as a horse guard or whatever they're called. And on the top, big smiley homage with the ultimate guide, the Jubilee celebrations. It's just subtle propaganda. And they're just leveraging it left and right. And there's people walking around with their chests puffed out and wrapping themselves in that thing. Ridiculous. Also, as well, the Sunday Times from last week, right? Unbelievable. David Quinn. The headline reads, choosing who to welcome here is not racist. Compassion is for everyone, but it is natural to feel a greater affinity for Ukraine's European Christians over other asylum seekers. One for you, I believe, my good friend.
Oh, well, yes, it is. I mean, that could be a BMP leaflet, from back in the day. That's absolutely wild. Yeah, of course it's racist. If if that's how you kind of sorting through people, and you can feel compassion for one set of people and not for another who are in a horrifically dangerous situation, then yeah, kind of got a bit of news for you. Definitely more than a little bit racist. I just don't understand how people can't see. It's almost like, yeah, they'll say anything that, it's just yes, I only feel sorry for white refugees. If they're Christian, that's not racist. Discriminating against Muslims, that's not racist because that's a religion, and it's
just all of that gymnastics, mental gymnastics shit. They can just suck me dick, basically. I'm absolutely tired of these fuckwits. This was the type of shit that would have been in fucking the Daily Stormer 10 years ago.
No,
now it's in the Sunday Times, and it's it's not
Times.
Racist to only want to shelter white people, because we've got more of an affinity. What the fuck is wrong with people now, man? No, seriously though, what the fuck is wrong with people? You look at Yemen, right? That's been going on for the longest time, but it's the Saudis who are doing it. And I'm going to hold me counsel, because we're doing a whole Newcastle United fans debate stuff. So there's a whole, if you want that kind of content, tune in for that. It'll be a good one. Cool. It's something different from this. I haven't had a chance to talk about it, but it's just, I've been absolutely fucking pissed off about it. And I said, I'll wait till the end of the season and then we'll do it. So the end of the season's here, motherfuckers. We're doing it. So this is the absolute fucking state of England. That is mainstream. That kind of thing is mainstream.
It is. I know that, I've heard it so many times and in so many variations of it. Some people kind of, obviously we've talked about this. I'm extremely white appearing, and people will say things like this to my face, and I'll be like, well, actually, my granddad, he was from Somalia.
Mo Salah.
Trying to say that Mo Salah, yeah. You're trying
literally what his name.
Would you have said sink the boats with him? If he had been a refugee, which wasn't, and people will say, and they don't realize the weight of what they're saying. More than one person have said, Oh no, but that's different. He was one of the good ones. Is what they say. Usually there's very, very little basis as to why they're saying that, other than that, he was related to me and they don't want me to kick their head in. And also that he liked a pint as well. And it was just like, oh, he was Muslim, but he liked a pint, so he must be all right. So so yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it all before. And think, oh, well, I like this black person, but not thousands of others. So that means that I can't possibly be racist.
Does he play for my sports team? Well, he's a good black. Does he not? He's a bad black. That's basically the extent of the level of cognitive processing of some people.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. It's like there's right. Here's the crack, right? There's something seriously wrong with you if you rank human life.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's madness, especially human life fleeing from war. So tell me this: why are Ukrainian refugees like literally welcome with open arms? And there should be. Let's make that clear. But we all know what goes on with any refugees aren't white. It's a shame upon all of the different shames that are upon England. It is a fucking joke country, and it's about time that people stopped with all of this flag shagging shit and unwrap the fucking Union Jack fucking blindfold from your eyes and look around you. Human beings are fleeing wars, and quite often the British government have their hand in it. Look into the arms deals with Saudi. Look into that and what happened in Yemen. Look into whatever you fucking want, but look into it. I'm fucking sounding like some conspiracy theorist. Look into it. I'm on some Alex Jones flex now, desperately hoping my hamstring's not going to twang again. I've got my leg off to the side and everything. It's mental. But I'm just fucking sick and tired of the bastards, me. Like, really fucking sick and tired of it. Imagine, jumping around with, Union Jack flags and that when, even just some of the information, there's more information we've had to cut out about these fuckers than we've been able to put in. We could be sat here all bloody night, going, why in support of this? It's absolutely evil. I know I've went right round the doors back to the Queen and that, but, for me, all this shit ties in. It's like...
Oh, no, absolutely. It is. And it's just nationalism and, nationalism with bells on and a terrible fucking street party. Yeah.
Totally. I'd just like to say as well, to the level I can without, literally the sound of my voice setting off my hamstring, right? I'd just like to say, if you don't like what we've got to say about this, think of it as I haven't seen anybody producing content which is anti that. So we're not even in a balanced world. So fucking suck it. The second thing is, a lot of you fuckers go on about freedom of speech. Well, this is ours. So if you don't like it, stop your fucking crying. Third thing is, down with the monarchy. Any questions?
Not from me.
Anyway. Please do comment, rate, and subscribe. I'm going to try and do this outro because seriously, it's right on the edge. I hope I'm ripped it or something. So I did tear something in my back the other week as well. So I'm just like, oh God, here we go. And my partner's not here. She's away. So I've got 3 dogs to look after. It's a nightmare. Hopefully it's fine. So anyway, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Go to the links in the description for Spotify, Dan, every platform that your heart can desire. Also YouTube, if you could watch this on YouTube, that would be great because we're trying to get the channel monetized. So the more you watch there, the more that helps us because we've got to try and get a certain amount, which I think is 4,000 watch hours. I don't know. Anyway, please do that and please comment there and all of that cool shit. Right, I think that's us, mate. And I'm going to do one of those quick get up and fuck off things afterwards. So I'll just text you, yeah? See you later. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Much love to you all. Hold on a minute. Oh, no, I have to fuck that up. Hold on. Pull that up. Pull this up. Later.